I'm Cara, I'm mum to 22-month-old Ben, and today I'm going to be showing you 8 really easy colour recognition activities for young toddlers. I should mention that we set out an activity for Ben, I show him once or twice how to do it, and then I let him use that activity however he wants. Sometimes he will do what I've shown him to do, other times he will use it in a completely different way, and that is okay. I always think that he'll take from an activity whatever he needs from it. Ben is now relatively confident with his colours, and I'm going to show you at the end of this video some toys and books which have been really great for helping him to do this. So without further ado, let's get started with my really easy colour activities for young toddlers. For my first activity, all you need are some pieces of coloured paper and a bowl full of random objects from around your house in those colours. For this activity, I've just used 2 colours, but you can increase the number of colours as your toddler becomes more and more confident with recognising the colours. I quickly lifted up an object and told Ben that it was blue and placed it on the blue sheet, and again did that with the red and placed it on the red sheet. Then he was able to lift them up and identify by himself which sheet it matched. This is also a great vocabulary activity because he was talking about the random things that he was lifting out of the bowl.
Red.
It's red. It is so easy to set up and something that Ben wants to do again and again. The sticker sort is essentially just a variation on the previous activity, and again you'll just need some pieces of coloured paper and those little circle coloured stickers that you pretty much can pick up in any supermarket. Ben still finds it a bit too fiddly to peel the stickers by himself, but certainly an older toddler would manage this no problem. I tend to hand him each sticker individually and he sticks it on the piece of paper that it matches. This activity is great for fine motor skills, especially because these little stickers are small and pretty fiddly, and most toddlers absolutely love stickers. And again, you can use as few or as many colours as you want. This one is amazing for toddlers who just don't want to sit still. We have these little coloured rubber spots that we have for some of our language classes, but you could equally use coloured pieces of paper, coloured beanbags, or even coloured hula hoops. I just placed them all around the floor and then I shouted out a colour which Ben ran to. This would also be a good one for introducing colours, and you can run to the correct colour together with your toddler. Then I added an extra language element and I asked Ben to touch each colour with a particular part of his body. He loved this one, especially when it came to using his head or his bottom.
Yellow.
Yellow! Head on the yellow spot. This activity is definitely the favourite with my toddler. For the Pom Pom Egg match, there is a little bit of preparation involved, but it's an activity that we use again and again at home, so I think it's definitely worth it. I ordered some of these giant pom-poms from Amazon. I will link them below for you if I can find them. And then I took an egg box and I painted each part of the egg box with a different colour that matches the pom-poms. Then Ben just takes the pom-poms from the bowl and puts them in the correct part of the egg box. He loves to do this. He loves to tell me what colour it is that he's taking and where it's going. Also, for a slightly older toddler, or it's definitely something that we are starting to introduce with Ben, is to use tweezers to transport the pom-poms so that there's an added fine motor skill element too.
Welche Farbe nimmst du als nächstes?
Weiß.
Weiß? Okay.
Ja.
If you've watched any of my toddler activity videos before, you will know I love a talking basket, and a colour talking basket or colour table is also a great way for toddlers to start to think about what things around them are different colours. When I was filming this activity, I chose the colour yellow and I filled a basket with things like a toy digger, a yellow scarf, a sponge and a toy bumblebee. Ben loves to just talk about everything that he's pulling out of the basket. Sometimes he will be so amazed by something that he will want to go away and play with it. Here he loved the sponge and he was walking around our whole home trying to wash everything, and that's brilliant because he's starting to recognise what everything in that basket is for.
Yellow duck.
Talking baskets are just awesome for building vocabulary. Block fishing is a really fun one. We did it indoors in Ben's baby bath, but you could also do it in the kitchen sink or in a paddling pool or in a tub outdoors. I just collected Ben's mega blocks in a variety of different colours and threw them into the water. Duplo or pretty much any toys that are different colours and float would absolutely work for this as well. Then I just gave him a sieve. We also did have a little like bath toy fishing net, but he was way more interested in the sieve. And then we talked about the different colours that he was fishing out and putting into the basket that we sat at the side. You can ask your toddlers to fish out a particular colour. If they're a little bit older, you might also want to add the number element. And you can even start asking them to fish out more than one at the same time. This is just a fun young toddler activity, whether it involves colours or not.
Fisch.
Noch ein Goldfisch.
2.
2 Goldfische schwimmen im Wasser.
And then we have the homemade coloured dominoes, which are essentially made with just some pieces of cardboard and some coloured paper. Ben has recently loved to play with a set of animal dominoes that we have, but I thought that introducing a simple colour version here would also be a great way to match the colours together and also talk about what the colours are. I used some slightly more obscure colours to make these, like pink and orange, ones that he wasn't necessarily so comfortable with, and then we just took turns at trying to match the colours onto the dominoes. For older toddlers, it might be interesting to make a set that can be used with numbers and or colours, and to make this I just used those little coloured spot stickers that I used in the earlier activity. These simple dominoes are a great way to start introducing the idea of turn taking and gameplay with a young toddler. And activity number 8 is definitely the most advanced one, and one that Ben is definitely still working on, and that's mostly because it uses pegs, which are a relatively advanced fine motor skill. You will need to get some pegs and pick up some of these little colour samples for paints, which you normally get at a DIY shop. These came from B&Q, and sometimes they come like this individually, or they can be in the long strips with several different shades of the same colour. Both absolutely work. I then cut these samples in two. I stuck a little bit onto the peg and then stuck the larger part onto a long piece of cardboard. Then Ben had to match the coloured peg to the coloured part of the cardboard. He definitely managed to match the colours pretty easily, but struggled with getting the peg open and on the right way, so I gave him a little bit of a hand with this, and it's something that is great to work on together too. Once your toddlers are super confident with matching different colours, this is a great way to introduce shades of the same colour as well. I made this shades of blue one, but it's definitely still a little bit advanced for Ben, and something that we can definitely move on to maybe in a few months' time. As far as introducing colours to your toddler goes, we have just been talking for a long time and describing things that we see as we're going around our daily life, but there are a few toys which have been particularly good, and a few books as well which have helped him just to build his confidence in recognising colours. We love these coloured scarves. They are a really open-ended toy, and Ben uses them for everything from playing hide and seek to using them as grass and water and corn for his farm animals. This rainbow stacker is also a really open-ended toy. It's something that Ben enjoys to stack. We use it as tunnels, we use them as fences for his farm animals. Simple, very cheap stacking cups are also great for talking about colours, as are any form of coloured blocks, such as just wooden building blocks or mega blocks. And finally, this little clog caterpillar from Melissa and Doug really encourages colour matching at an early stage. It's also really good for fine motor skills for the toddlers to be able to actually slot them on, and Ben loves just to turn them and make the clogs go. As far as books go, our favourite is definitely Elmer. There are just so many colours on him to talk about, and this really cheap book that we just got from Marks and Spencer's called Sneak a Peekaboo has actually been one of Ben's favourite colour books. I will link all of these below for you in the description in case you're interested in checking any of them out. I would also love to now hear from you in the comments. What colour activities have you been doing with your toddler, or any toys, books or resources that have really worked well for you? Also, if you've found today's video useful and enjoyed it, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and if you've not already, please have a think about hitting the subscribe button. I make a toddler activity video every single week. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll join me again in a future video. Bye!